Summer 2025 is here and you're probably in a position where you want to drop body fat and you're not too sure how to set up the diet. Now, at this point in time in the year, social events are going to be happening. Things are going to be a little bit busy, but you might still want to shed some pounds and drop some body fat. So in this video, we're going to go over how to set up your diet correctly to make it happen, despite maybe being a little bit busier over this summer period. Or if you're not, well, guess what? We can fucking smash it and get this fat off. So when it comes to setting up the diet, the initial thing that we're going to do is go to ChatGPT. Yes, we are using ChatGPT. The thing with ChatGPT is it is not going to coach you. It is not going to keep you accountable, but what it can do is how to set up the initial start point of a diet. So what we're going to do is set up a timeline. Most people go wrong with fat loss and dieting by just giving themselves a goal of dropping 10 kilos and saying, I just want to drop 10 kilos. Or I want to drop 8 kilos, and they're going to do it over the course of however long. They don't care. It's I'm doing it. But that might take 2 months, it might take 6 months, it might take 10 months, it might be a little bit slower, it might be a little bit faster, but they eventually get to the point where they either burn out by doing a little bit too much too soon and can't stick to it, or they get fucking bored of being hungry and they're just not seeing the results they want and they just don't know where that end date is. So what we want to do is set up a timeline to do 2 things, to motivate you and to give you an end date. Because that end date is always going to be the motivating factor. Go into ChatGPT, give it this prompt. Hey, ChatGPT, I want to drop some body fat. I want to set up a diet and lose around 10 kilos, if that's your goal. I'm currently 88 kilos and want to get down to 78 kilos. And can you set me up a timeline with the expected rate of loss? I'm 27 years old. I have dieting experience. I train 5 days a week and I get around 10K steps in per day. So it gives you a target from there and it gives you a bit of a timeline. Now, what you can expect is if you don't actually say how many weeks you want to lose that weight in, it will then say, okay, you could probably lose an average 0.7 to 1 kilos per week like it's done here, which then means I could diet and do that in 10 weeks or 12 weeks if I'm giving myself a little bit of leeway. Now, my recommendation is if you want to drop 10 kilos, the best thing that you can do is give yourself a little bit more time. When someone is more experienced with dieting, when they can just go all into the process, then yeah, they could probably do it in 10 weeks and get out the diet as quick as they can. But it is summertime and realistically, there's going to be a lot more social events, a lot more socializing, and even if you're not really a social person, there's probably still going to be some family events going on. So it's better to give yourself more time. Plus, if you're a beginner and you're not used to dieting, more time, the better, because it means that you don't have to go so aggressive and you can pull back when you need to by doing various things. When I say pull back, I mean you can either do 8 weeks of pushing and then go into a bit of a diet break for a week or 2 weeks, which is essentially bringing your food back up to maintenance. Or we can follow an approach where we're doing something called calorie cycling, where we're having lower food across the week, having lower food days, lower calorie days, and then get to the weekend and have higher food days, which is generally going to come from carbohydrates. But anyway, when it comes to doing it over the course of 16 weeks, that means that we can then lose 0.625 kilos per week, which for most people makes it very achievable and it's a lot easier to be able to do. It tells you the total weight to lose, the average weekly loss target, and then phase breakdowns with breaking down the phases into fancy names. Foundation phase, fat loss phase 1, fat loss phase 2, and final push and taper phase. And the main thing to focus on within this is just the timeline and the average rate of loss. When it's saying 2,200 calories and then go into this phase and then go to 2,000 calories and then go to this phase and go to 1,900, that might not work. It's not about decreasing the calories when we go into another phase. It's about decreasing the calories when needed, increasing steps when needed, increasing and doing more cardio when needed. It's not about going into another phase and randomly decreasing calories because it might not even be necessary. We could start with 2,200 calories and run with that until week 6. And then by week 6, things start to plateau and then we just increase steps, increase cardio, and maybe decrease food a little bit. And then things start to drop a little bit more. It's not about decreasing food for the fucking sake of it or increasing cardio for the sake of it. It's about making sure you do the right things and make the right changes at the right times and not do too much too soon. And that's the main thing that we're going to be using ChatGPT for. It's to get the phases, the weekly rate of loss and what to expect, and to set the expectation of how long it's going to be so we can have an end date in mind. And the next thing is going to be setting up calories and macros. You can listen to what it says on ChatGPT. If it says eat 2,200 and that's what you want to go for, then fair fucking play. But I'm going to go through my method. Now, the easiest way to calculate your calories is to get your body weight in pounds and times it by 10 or 12. 12 if you move a little bit more and you're not a couch potato, you go to the gym a few times a week, you move a little bit with work, sweet. Times it by 12. If you're someone that's a bit of a couch potato, a bit of a lazy bastard, don't really do too much, then go to 10. And that will be the initial start point for your calories. The next thing is going to be protein, carbs and fats, which is your macronutrients. The first 2 that we want to work out is going to be proteins and fats. Protein, how do we get it? I can't hit my protein. Well, guess what? I'm gonna help you. Protein is gonna be aiming for 1.6 grams to 2.2 grams per kilo of body weight. The way that I would like to kind of do it for most people is sit in the middle, so we can go for 1.8 or 2 grams. And for argument's sake, and because it's easy to do the maths, and that would be 88 times by 2, which would be 176 grams. That'll be your start point for protein. The next is going to be fats. Why do we need fats? Healthy fats, poly and monounsaturated fats. Why are they important? And where are you going to get them from? Fats are going to be important because it helps you absorb nutrients, micronutrients, and also the vitamins and the minerals. It's fucking important for your body to be able to function properly and be a normal functioning human being. So please, take care of your fats. And I'm not talking about Snickers bars, you're fatty. I'm talking about eggs, smoked salmon, salmon fillets, or fatty fish in general, nut butters or peanut butters, almond butters, avocados, dark chocolates. There's so many different fat sources that you can have that are going to be beneficial for making sure that you are functioning at your best, absorbing the nutrients, and hormonally in a good spot. Now, the way that we want to work out your fats is going to be using a guideline of 0.5 grams per kilo of body weight. So if you're 88 kilos, the start point for fats is going to be 44 grams. And then whatever the remaining calories are, once you've got those two variables, it's going to be from carbohydrate. Now, making adjustments to the diet, people are like, well, do I drop protein? Do I drop fats? Do I drop carbs? Where do I actually drop the food from? What's going to be the best protocol when it comes to making adjustments? So there's two ways that we can make adjustments. We've either got food, which we can cover in a second, or we've got expenditure. So if you're currently doing 6K steps a day, on average, you might be able to bump that to 8 by making a conscious effort to do 2,000 steps more per day. Or you might be doing 10 minutes of cardio post-workout. We might want to bump that to 15 minutes or 20 minutes post-workout and start doing that again. And start using expenditure as a means to be able to increase the deficit. Or we might want to drop food. And where are we going to drop the food from? Protein, carbs, or fats? And when it comes to making dietary adjustments, it's always going to come from carbohydrates. Yes, down the line, further into a diet, you can pull back from fats, you can make some adjustments and lower protein down, but the main driver for creating that deficit is going to come from carbohydrates. Why? Carbs are your main energy source, but they are not required. Fats keep you functioning like a normal fucking human being. Protein helps maintain muscle mass and enables recovery. Carbs can go. So we want to minimize the amount of carbohydrates over time to be able to bring those calories down. Now, if calories become a little bit too low and you're someone that does have to dig a little bit deeper with calories because it happens, then it might just be a case of pulling down your protein a touch and pulling down your fats a touch, and then having the odd refeed here and there to give you a little bit of a boost again to then step back into fat loss. And then we've got food choices. What foods can I have? What type of meals can I have? Well, I'm going to leave a link in the description of the Google Drive folder. I'm hoping the link is going to work, but it's going to be a list of protein, carbs, and fats that you can just implement into your diet, and they're going to be some of the main sources of protein, carbs, and fats that I use within my diet. Setting up the meals is going to be relative to the amount of meals that you can stick to and what you can be consistent with. For most people, we can probably get about 4 meals per day. If you can get more and you fancy more, then we can probably do it over the course of 5. But for me, the sweet spot is typically going to be 4 meals per day. And why 4 meals? 4 meals is going to allow you to spread the protein servings equally across the day and make it easier for you to be able to get the protein in without just shoving a bunch in across the day through 1 or 2 or 3 meals, which is not what we want to do. Because that can affect your digestion, and that potentially can also affect the rate of loss and the scale weight, which then can make your fucking head fall off, which we do not want. So make sure that when it comes to setting up your diet, you do these things. We've got the timeline, we understand how long we're going to be dieting for and when the end date is going to be. The next thing is setting up the calories, the macros, so the protein, carbs, and fats, and understanding what it is that you're going to eat, understanding your targets there and being consistent with it, tracking your food or following a meal plan with that amount of calories and being fucking consistent. And the final thing is setting up the meals. If you want to actually make it successful, if you're just playing a guessing game with tracking, but for most people, being consistent with the type of meals that you're getting in per day does help massively. It doesn't mean eating the same fucking shit every day. It means having a set structure with meals and then potentially making swaps if you need to, but having the meal plan there as a base and a guideline to actually be consistent with. And with foods and meals, they do not need to be bland. Season your fucking meals, add some sauces in, but if you are going to use sauces, be considerate towards the fact that they do have calories in, so it's about making sure that you stay consistent with the amount you use and don't take the piss. And that is how to set up a diet phase successfully. If you like the video, then do us a favor, drop the channel, subscribe, check out the link in the description for the food sources that you can just plug and play into your own diet. And if you like the video, then please do drop the video a like, because it means the video is not a bag of shit and I should post more content like this, and that's exactly what I'll do. So please do like the video and subscribe for more content like this, and also comment for any questions that you might have, and I'll get back to every single one of you. I'll catch you in the next video.